wastewater, adjustments,
What about the Vista number 1, number H there?
You wanted some changes, I'm sorry, 'cause I've been working on the.
Well, first off,
on the response to the-
for the record,
Right,
I make the motion that after the changes, the 2 corrections that we have, and let's do that first, okay? 2 corrections that we had to the RFP. The reason that the RFP did not go out was because it was brought to our attention that it was not listed, that we approved it in the minutes. We approved to go out with it, there was many people here, but it didn't get in the minutes, so we're gonna do that formally right now. And the second thing is there was 2 changes that were brought to our attention that we needed to change. One, the question was asked if they had to provide a recycling container to all residents of Odon. And my take on that was yes, they do. Okay, where they're a person, do they have to provide all of them immediately? No, but I expected in their plan that they would come up and say, well, the person may not want, that's not the point. The point is that every household in Odon, that city limits that we're going to be with trash bill, that we recommend, or that they require to provide a recycling container. Okay, the second question that they had was on the insurance. They had 3. On the insurance, they wanted to lower it from $10 million to $2 million. I recommend that we do not do that, that we leave it as is. The town of Orleans, Indiana has $10 million. They're roughly the same size we are. So I don't see where that is, just because somebody don't like it, it's not that tough to go get a $10 million bond if you're a viable company. Okay.
bond or insurance?
Insurance. Okay.
How much would that cost, you have any idea?
No. No.
The difference between 2 and 10?
I don't know the answer there.
my notes from last time are that I was to lower the insurance. Is that what you have in your minutes to the 10 million to 2, I think, is what was.
Okay.
And then, here's the 3 changes I
2
made.
ways to look at it. One, when we ever get a trash company that has to provide that much insurance, if you use your imagination, you say, okay, lady's sitting in her car, this guy comes along with a truck, you don't know how much will be required. That's one thing. The second thing, we want these bids to come in at a reasonable rate so that we can approve this thing. Saying that might be viable. There's 2 opposing opinions. Is $2 million enough? 2 or 3 of the contractors came back and said $2 million is plenty. Okay. I'm not hard over on it, Don. I'm not hard over on either side. And you've got 2. The $2 million, are they going to, we require it, but by law, are they still going to be responsible? Sure.
Would our umbrella policy for the town, would it cover anything that?
Unless we put it on there, right? Read.
I would think it would. I would think it would. I mean, I think you'd have to acknowledge the insurance that we now have this new service, and it may affect our rate, because it's gonna be a new risk under our umbrella. But I would think our umbrella would if their insurance was a shortfall or had lapsed or anything like that. But, I mean, obviously the best person to answer that would be the insurance shop, but I know it will affect our rate. Well, what do you know? It'll affect our rate, I'm sure.
I'm sure it'll affect
New
your
risk.
rate, but do you know, John?
I can give you an opinion, but it wouldn't be right. If you're gonna put this in the minutes, I would like to go back and ask the underwriter and clarify. But we could come to a resolution, we could give you a response, we could give Beth a response, actually. I think we're scheduled to be here to meet with her next Tuesday to start reapplying to start the renewal process. So we could get your response to that.
Okay.
Can I may I ask a question about the topic here, because I'm a little bit unclear. Is the $10 million that you're considering, the 10 versus 2, is that the required limits that you're going to have in the bid specs for the contractor,
Yes.
the third party that you're gonna hire?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think, what would be the difference? Can you give us any idea of that, just to,
It'd be pretty substantial,
it'd be
probably.
substantial?
I mean, I say substantial. Substantial means different things to different people, but you're talking about a big contractor and, you know, a big company likely in a relatively high liability sort of business that's already high premiums, and you're talking about increasing their limits by 500%, you're probably looking at substantial premiums. More than the town, I don't know what the town is thinking about paying this company, but probably more than a small town, they would generate in revenue from a small town, I'm guessing. I don't know what that number's like, but that's it.
From that said, that makes me go the other way.
You're talking about a big split from 2 to 10 there.
Yeah,
If there's some
there's a
middle
big
ground
one.
maybe.
No, 2 to 4 would be something that, well, 10 million seems, but then if you're sued, 10 million is not a lot of money.
Doesn't seem like it did, does it?
No, but what would you be sued for, why?
Well, yeah, that's gonna constitute $10 million. I mean,
You don't,
what, that you ran over a van full of children, or, I mean, even,
They're here in town, though,
I'm
they're not
just saying, I know, that's what I mean.
thinking along.
you don't
I
think, you don't think it's necessary?
Well, I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna, yeah, they'll put it in for 10
No.
million, but they're gonna roll that cost in there.
Yes, they are.
They're gonna roll it in,
And
it's
that's
gonna
what
make,
I'm-
it's gonna price you right out of any feasible
Alright.
cost for this. The two, is it necessary? Yeah, hey, I'm probably with John on that, more insurance the better. But it's, you know, what kind of liability might you incur where 2 million
Wouldn't cover it?
wouldn't cover it? Like I said, you know,
What kind of,
if he had a massive accident on the highway or something and it was, I mean, how would it be our fault first if he did that? I mean, you know, we certainly want them to have coverage, whether it's our fault or not, but if he hits somebody in the course of that activity, I mean, he'd have to hit a whole group of people or cause some huge tragedy, you know.
One thing
what
I
sort
would,
of limits do we have on our guys that drive a truck? What do they,
No, that's a good question for John. What's our limits?
I mean,
What is our
we're on the
umbrella?
road every
Do we
day,
have
we're
a-
pulling in, pulling
Yeah.
out.
do that part of it, I have no idea.
It's not as big as a garbage truck, but, I doubt if we have 10 million
Yeah,
on
I
both.
got it,
You know, we're in the backhoe and the dump truck.
Yeah,
biggest
backhoe
thing for
is-
us, so, but I'm not sure,
Well,
I've never seen the policy.
John, do we have an umbrella?
yeah,
We do.
yeah, don't ask me to limit right
Yeah,
now.
I've got-
We will bring
Yeah.
all that to her on Tuesday of next week when we come to start the renewal process.
I do
So you'll have that
a copy of the
Yeah,
information.
but for purposes of this bidding, we kinda need it now.
I would, well, based on what Rita's saying, and that's sense, I mean, I was, like I said, I didn't check a little leads. But $2 million is probably sufficient.
You don't have to go with 2 or 10. You could go with 4 or 3 or 5. I mean,
Can we say this in the RFP? That we'll go with 2 and review it after 1 year? Can we say that in the contract?